Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Today is going to be an amazing message. Today's message is forgiveness, acceptance. Us can understand the difference between the three. And depending on where you are at in your own personal relationships in life, will determine how importantly you need all three of these. So today's message is forgiveness, acceptance, and reconciliation. Today's message is for anyone that feels they need to get over something or someone. And that someone might be yourself. You might have to get over yourself and things that you wish were different, things that you wish would change, things that you wish could change. And that is preventing you from living your life currently the best way that you can. So, I want to start today's message with giving you the definition of all three of these words: to forgive, to accept, and to reconcile. These are all verbs, so these are all actions. So you cannot just say these things, you must actually show these things. In order to forgive means to cease, to feel resentment against. It also means to stop feeling angry or resentful toward. And the toward is to someone who offends you or to something that offends you. So to cease feeling resentment against an offender or an offense, and to stop feeling angry or resentful towards an offender or an offense. To accept means to believe or to come to recognize an opinion or an explanation is correct or valid. It also means to consent or to receive. To consent or to receive. And that's going to be very important in a couple of minutes. And to reconcile means to restore to friendship or to settle or resolve. To restore to friendship or to settle or resolve. Now, you should accept and forgive, but you do not have to reconcile. You should accept and forgive, but you do not have to reconcile. And the reason I say that is because refusing to accept what is or what was can only hurt you and what will be. Refusing to accept what is and what was will only hurt you and what will be. They are no longer hurting you. If someone hurt you yesterday, and yesterday could be literally yesterday could be a week from today, yesterday could be a month ago, yesterday could be years ago. If someone hurt you yesterday, but you are still hurting today, they are no longer hurting you. You are now hurting you. You are hurting yourself because you wish that the reality of the situation was different than what it is, could be different from what it is, will be different from what it has been. They are no longer hurting you. You are hurting you. And until you realize that you have the power to forgive them, you have the power to accept what happened and to love yourself now, many people will still be stuck at that very moment that offense happened. The very moment they accepted the offense to continue to happen. The very moment that those things started to occur or reoccur. And if you do not accept what is, you cannot have forgiveness for what you wish it was. If you do not accept what is, you cannot have forgiveness for what you wish it was. You think that they should be better. And you keep giving them chance after chance to be better. They have either shown you and or told you that they don't want to be better, or they don't want to be what you deem as better. And you are not accepting what is and what has been. So you can't forgive yourself or forgive them for what you wish it was. You wish they would be different and they told you they won't. So the pain you're causing, the pain that you feel is the pain that you're causing yourself. They have already told you and or shown you, I'm not changing. And you keep going back and forth in your mind, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling this? Because you continue to force yourself to feel these things. And this is why forgiveness, acceptance, and reconciliation are all very important, but we have to understand the dichotomy between the three. You can forgive without their acceptance or their apology. You can forgive someone without their acceptance or an apology. And the reason I say or is because if a person does not accept what they did or said hurt you, they will never be able to truly apologize. If a person does not accept that what they did or said to you hurt you, then they will never be able to truly apologize. To apologize is another verb. This is why love is a verb. You have to show these things. To apologize means to express regret for something done or said. To apologize means to express regret for something done or said. Meaning you have to take responsibility for what you have done or said. So if you don't take responsibility or ownership for what you have done or said, you can't accept what has been done or said to someone. And if you can't accept it, you can't apologize for it. This is when you will have people giving you false apologies like, oh, I'm sorry if that hurts you. I just told you it hurt me. Why? There's no if. I just told you it hurt me. If someone says, I'm sorry if, anything that follows that if is not a true apology. I'm sorry that, and then they blame you for feeling how they made you feel, that's not a true apology. And this is because of their lack of acceptance and their lack of ownership for what they did or said. And they might be you, so this message might be for you to look in the mirror. They might never admit that they are wrong. We as humans take time to admit that we are wrong. And until we learn to constantly look at ourselves, it might stay that way. It might stay that way. So if you want to get quicker at identifying the problem, you have to get quicker at looking at yourself to see if you are the problem. They might never admit that they are wrong. They might never admit that they hurt you. To themselves. I need you to understand this. They might never feel that they did you wrong to themselves. So if they don't feel that in themselves, how can they give that to you? If they don't feel sorry for what they did inside, how can they feel sorry outside? You might never get an apology. And this is what holds so many people back from healing. This is what holds so many people back from loving themselves in totality, because they are still expecting acceptance of what someone else did to them, and they might never get it. The only way that they can get one over on you, as a lot of people would like to say, is if you never allow yourself to move past the pain. A lot of people have a hard time forgiving because when we get hurt, we feel that we lost. When we get hurt, we feel less than, L-E-S-S, instead of realizing that we have been taught a lesson, L-E-S-S-O-N. So don't lessen by having less. Lesson in learning what these people are trying to teach you. So many people feel that, oh, I can't let this go because they got over on me. I can't let this go because this makes me feel less than. This makes me feel rage. This makes me feel negative feelings. And we are allowing ourselves to live in those moments, and we can't get past them. So many people cannot forgive because they feel less than, instead of realizing the people that hurt you are only teaching you a lesson. They lost someone who would have continued to help them or be there for them, and you feel like you lost. They lost somebody who will continue to help them and be there for them, but you feel like you lost. How can you feel like you lost something or someone got over on you when they messed up an amazing relationship? It doesn't have to be love. It doesn't have to be family. It could be friends. It could be associates. It could be business. How can I get mad at you for making a dumb business decision? I feel sorry for you because now you lost a partner that will want the best for you. Now you lost a partner that will continue to be there and answer your call whenever you would need me. But if you never forgive and truly forgive yourself or accept what has happened, so many people will still answer that call And every single time you answer that call of the person that hurt you and never admitted or apologized or accepted that they hurt you, you're hurting yourself. They lied to you. They stole from you. They cheated on you. They used you. They abused you. And you never set any boundaries. They never accepted it. And you accepted the fact that they never accepted it. So now this pain that you're feeling, now this uneasiness, now this contempt with yourself sometimes even, is because of the fact that you're still somehow, somewhere, looking for something that might not happen. And one of the reasons that it might not happen is because they see how easy you accepted them back without them accepting any responsibility for what they did. People continue to use you because they see how easy you accepted them without them accepting what they did wrong to you. So they're going to keep coming back and they're going to keep calling. They're going to keep coming back and they're going to keep checking on you. They're going to keep coming back and they're going to keep asking for something. They're going to keep coming back and they're going to keep needing something. It is okay to forgive. Please forget the pain. Never forget the lesson. But you do not have to reconcile with the people or the things that hurt you. You do not have to reconcile with the things or the people that hurt you. It is okay to accept what happened. I implore you to do so, because if you cannot accept what reality is, you will begin to start to give yourself delusion. If you cannot accept what reality is or has been, you will begin to give yourself delusion. And this is why so many people live a life that they tell themselves. This is why so many people look at themselves as the victim, because they never were able to accept, yes, I was taken advantage of. Yes, I was used. Yes, I was hurt. But what now? Yes, this happened yesterday, but what am I choosing to feel today? Yes, this happened last month, but what am I choosing to feel today? Yes, this happened when I was 2 on a Saturday that was rainy. I'm 45 now. What am I going to feel now? So if you never have acceptance, and if you never see where you are at, you will never be able to move farther. And if there is no acceptance, there cannot be a true apology. If the offender, and the offender might be you or you might be offended, if the offender does not accept responsibility for the offense, then they cannot truly apologize for it. If the offender does not accept responsibility for their offense, they can never truly apologize for it. I used to try to coerce people to take responsibility for hurting me. I've been lied to almost every relationship, whether romantic, business, whatever the case is. I've been cheated on almost a lot of the relationships, and it would always come out. God looked out for me, but it would always come out, and I would never have to look for it. I would never have to feel like I was less than. But when it came out, they never took responsibility. It was never, I'm sorry I lied. I'm sorry I cheated. I'm sorry I used. I'm sorry I did this. It was always someone else's fault. It was always an I don't know. It was always some form of excuse, never the truth. And I decided to make a decision and I didn't think about how you would feel. I apologize. So when these people came back and they started the conversation, I accepted without them accepting that they did me wrong. They accepted that I was hurt, but they refused to accept that they hurt me. So many people will accept that you're hurt. It's hard not to see the tears, but they will refuse to accept that they hurt you. So if someone is refusing to accept that they hurt you in words, in deeds, in not living up to either of those, they cannot apologize. And this is why you need to look at yourself, because if you do not realize when you are not living up to your words, when you are not living up to your actions, when you are not living up to your promises, how that can hurt other people, then you will be slow to apologize. You might be stubborn in apologizing, but it is important to look at ourselves. And if there is no responsibility, then there need not be any reconciliation. If there is no responsibility, then there does not need to be any reconciliation. Without responsibility, there can be no resolution. And this is the reason I gave you the definition of reconciliation, because to reconcile means to resolve. To reconcile means to come to harmony. And if there is no responsibility, there is no resolution. If there is no responsibility, let's say you're in an office job, nobody takes control over the work that needs to be done, then there is no reconciliation when at the end of that quarter, that work is not done. This is why so many businesses fail. This is why so many relationships fail. This is why so many diets fail, because there is no responsibility. And if there is no responsibility, there can be no resolution. If you do not see where you or someone else could have been better, could have been different, there can be no resolution. All we see is, oh, yep, we didn't hit the target this quarter. What are we going to do? And we're always shifting the blame in a different department. We're always shifting the blame to a different person. What did you accept and what did you allow? What did you accept and what did you allow? And if you have reconciled with someone who has not accepted or apologized, then you may need to forgive yourself. If you have reconciled with someone who has not accepted or apologized, then you may need to forgive yourself. If you have reconciled with someone who has not accepted or apologized for the pain, for the words, for the actions, for the lying, for the cheating, for the confusion that they might have caused you, for the double-mindedness, for the bipolar, for the semantics, for the craziness, whatever the case may be, for the arguments, for the trauma, in a lot of cases, then you may need to forgive yourself. And I say this as someone who has lived through it. It is okay to forgive yourself for forgiving too soon. It is okay to forgive yourself for forgiving too easy. It is okay to forgive yourself for forgiving when they never even apologized. Because that is what you should do. You should forgive. You should accept what has happened. You should learn from it and you should grow from it. This is the essence of forgiveness. The reason that you need to forgive yourself is because it's the reconciliation that is going to hurt you more. They never accepted or apologized for what they did, so they're going to do it again. They never took responsibility for what they did to you, so it's going to happen again. And as much as this hurts me to tell you, you are a part of that problem. I was a part of that problem. I reconciled with them, and they were not sorry for what they did. How could I possibly expect them to do anything different? I reconciled with them, and they were not sorry for what they did. How could I possibly expect them to do anything different? Until I say, hey, I'm sorry, I was late. I will work on not being late. It's always going to be traffic. It's always going to be the laundry. It's always going to be your landlord. It's always going to be the kids. It's always going to be some excuse. It's never going to be, I should have went to sleep sooner. I should not have been on my phone. I should not have watched TV. I should have had my clothes prepared. That's taking responsibility over the little things. And if you can't take responsibility over the little things, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised by the things that you accept. You're accepting tardiness and you're accepting not showing up for yourself. So how can you expect anything different when you accept other people to do the same? So forgive yourself. Don't feel bad for forgiving. You should have done it. You should continue to do it. Forgive yourself for reconciling. And that is the nuance that a lot of people don't understand. And this is why so many people don't trust anymore or don't forgive anymore, because they feel bad about forgiving, but not realizing that forgiveness is not the problem. It's the fact that you reconciled with a person that you should have ended the relationship with. A person only has to poison you once. And if you see them putting it in the food, why would you let them prepare food for you again? A person only has to put you in danger once. And if you see that they are untrustworthy, why would you give them or allow them control over your location again? Forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, it might be hard to love yourself completely. Love the person that was worthy of love and didn't get it back then. Love the person who needs to love themselves now in order to forgive themselves so that they can be better in the future. Forgiveness, acceptance, and reconciliation are all different because they need to be. I need to accept what has happened. I need to accept what was done. I should forgive what has happened. I should forgive what was done. I do not have to reconcile because of it. I do not have to reconcile after I accept what has happened and after I have forgiven what was done. Whether I need to forgive you or I need to forgive myself or both. But I do not have to reconcile afterwards. And if you do not learn this lesson, you will continue to keep the same bad relationships, or you will continue to find new ones with the same problems. It's not just them, it's you. And you are accepting a lack of forgiveness or a lack of apology. You are accepting a lack of apology and responsibility. So if you are accepting them for not taking responsibility, it's going to be hard for you to forgive because you're not going to know what to forgive, who to forgive, or how. You know you're hurt. They might know you're hurt, but they'll never say it. You want them to know that you're hurting, and they might never say it. And that hurts you more. And I'm sorry. But it is important that you take that sword out of your back. It is important that you take that dagger out. And oftentimes we like to think of people as stabbing us in our back, but oftentimes we see it coming, especially when we reconcile with the person with the blade. And we give them the blade back, and we're surprised that we have a new wound. We give them the blade back, and we are surprised when we have a new wound. You reconciled with the backstabber. I accepted the blood. I accepted the pain. I accepted the wounds that came with it. It took me some time, but I learned to forgive you for doing it. I do not have to give you that dagger back. I do not have to turn my back on you again. Because the last time that I turned my back on you is to leave you and to leave this situation and whatever this relationship is, because I value myself. I forgive myself for trusting you. I forgive you for abusing that trust. I accept the pain that came with it. And because of that, I do not have to reconcile with it. So I pray that whoever is going through a forgiveness problem, I pray that whoever does feel bad, whoever does have trust issues, whoever cannot move past a certain point in time, whoever cannot move past a certain person, that you learn to forgive yourself. Learn to reconcile with yourself. The person that accepted the pain and the person that learned from it. You two need to have a talk. And when you do, you will forgive both, and you will forgive the person that offended you. And you will move forward, and you will not feel the need to reconcile the relationships that are hurting you, that are dragging you down, that are slowing you down, that are harming you, that are poisoning you, that are contaminating your mind, your soul, or your heart. And I pray that this message reaches your heart, and I pray that this message reaches you. And with that being said, if you have any questions, if you would like to check out the message again, if you would like to check any of the other messages out, all you have to do, follow us on social media, KING, SIMIEN. That's right, King Simeon, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and follow us on YouTube. And in the meantime, between time, I hope that you have an amazing week and you use this tool to love yourself and forgive yourself better. Until next time, I love you. Perfect time. Perfect timing.